Morning, everyone. Where
Good
is
morning, Mr. David Gibson. Good
Hey,
morning, everyone.
all right. So,
Very good morning, sir.
where is my Endo? Nope, nope, nope. A small wind tracker. Gotta have that up. And one last thing. Ah, there we go. All right, and there we are. How's everybody doing this morning?
Whoa.
Anybody else? Anybody else got snow? I love living in Detroit. I truly do.
Not in California.
Dr. Parker, are you in Florida or North Carolina? You're some sunshine state, aren't you?
North Carolina today, sir. No snow. Kind of cool,
No.
but I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll be in
yeah. Well,
Michigan next week. I hope you
you
guys
can
will melt the
take this
snow
snow with
before I
you,
get
buddy.
there.
Yeah, it's just a dusting. The sun's out right now. Hopefully, it'll do what it's supposed to do and get rid of it. I'm excited. I apologize for my tardiness, but I'm honored and excited to be here and be in this position with you guys today. Are we ready to go, Fernando?
Yes.
We are
You're the
Mr.
driver
David Gibson.
of this bus.
Thanks so much.
All
Good
right.
morning. Great to have you as
Good.
a reader this morning. I got my notepad ready in the book.
All right. Well, let's get into it because Dr. Parker, man, I know you did, but see, you're divinely inspired, and so is this book. So it's no coincidence that chapter 14 and 15 come to us at this particular juncture where MWR has enhanced our back office and our experience to the degree it has. Because these two chapters, if we put these in place, my friends, oh yeah, you talk. Mr. House thinks there's been an explosion so far. Let me tell you, we do these things, we're going to be on mega fire, volcano like fire. So let me just get into it. Chapter 14 is entitled Small Win Streak Tracker and Don't Break the Chain Chart. Long title, but a lot of nuggets and some very practical applications. All right, so um, you know the truth. Motivation is a feeling, but momentum is a force. That force is built one day at a time with one small win at a time. The problem is, it's easy to lose sight of your progress and slip back into old habits. Your mind is your mind can trick you into thinking your small efforts don't matter. This tracker is your antidote to this lie. Now, before I go any further, I'm glad that Dr. Parker reminded us about the difference between motivation and momentum. That was in the previous chapter. Motivation is a feeling, momentum is a force. Motivation comes from external sources. Momentum is built because of our internal desire and our internal workings that keep that ball rolling down the hill. That snow. Funny, I talk about snow this morning. Reminds me of that Temptation song about the snowball rolling down the hill. That's momentum. That's the way it goes. And you can't, when momentum gets going, you got to get out of its way because it is a force. And let's the talking about the losing sight of your progress and slipping back into old habits. I got to talk about habits right now because in another process that I'm going through that's health related, we just had a master class last week about habits and how they're formed and what why our body even needs them. Our brain is wired to accept and to build habits. You know why? Because it's a method of conserving energy. If you got a habit, just think about the habits that you're already engaged in that you did just this morning. You go in the bathroom, you wash your face, you brush your teeth. You don't think about that. You just pick up your toothbrush, And the routine is so ingrained because you've been doing it for so long, you don't even think about it. That's a habit. It conserves energy. You can think about 14 other things that are on your mind, that are on your to-do list, on your task list, while you're doing those things, because the habit already has you in motion, and it already has that thing that you're trying to do taken care of. But now, if we don't rewire ourselves or rewire, we don't ever want to break a habit because, as I said, the brain wants it to conserve energy. If you're caught in a bad habit or one that's not as productive as you want it to be or it should be, the thing that we want to do is rewire it. We want to break the habit loop so that the positive thing we want is what we get instead of the negative thing. So another thing, let's see, going on with the reading, we don't want our brain to trick us into thinking that we're not making progress. Okay, and now Dr. Parker says this tracker is going to be the antidote to that lie, and you're going to see why in just a minute. This tool turns your invisible momentum into a visible, undeniable streak. And who doesn't love a streak? I'm watching March Madness. I'm really caught up in that because my bracket has been busted on the left, but I'm still hanging in there on the right. And some of those teams, when I was making my choices, when I looked at who to choose as winners, I looked at how many games they had won going into the tournament. Whether they and a lot of them had 10-game winning streaks, 12-game winning streaks. And when you got that kind of momentum, even though you're not a highly ranked team, you've got the formula for winning on that level when nobody else expects you to, because what? You got that momentum. It's a simple, powerful visual representation of your commitment. Speaking of the tracker, the goal is simple: start a streak and don't break the chain. Every single day that you check a box, you're not just completing a task, you're building a habit, a foundation, and a winning mindset. This is how you go from being someone who tries, air quotes, to being someone who does. And that's a great difference. Use this chart as your personal scoreboard. Pin it somewhere you can't ignore it, on your wall, on your mirror, on the refrigerator. Let your commitment stare you in the face. The work begins now. But before we get to the work, before we get to the track, I want to talk about a couple of other things, that some other nuggets Dr. Parker dropped in here. We want to look at foundation. Foundation is the basis for building something, and it has to be laid first, and it must be solid, or whatever you put on top of it will eventually fall. And the winning mindset, that's the framework and the filter that information is processed in, so that we can make the correct decisions, and we can keep our mind focused on that objective, which is what? Winning. And I love the way Dr. Parker always says during his presentations that this is a win or that is a win, because everybody likes to win. Everybody likes a winner. We get a good feeling when we are, and going back to my previous statement about March Madness, I was enthralled last night as the two Michigan teams were playing. One was a winner and one was a loser, but I was happy for the one that won, of course, and the way they did it. And I felt bad because of the one that lost, because I wanted them to win to keep our bracket alive and looking good. So we definitely want to maintain, we want to first of all build that winning mindset, and then we want to maintain it. And this tracker is going to help us do that. So if you guys have your books, you can see the tracker that Dr. Parker has developed here for us. And I tell you, doing what he said to do that's why I say these two chapters are very good for us, because they're practical. They're not just putting down the theory, they are giving us the practical aspect of it. And by the way, don't break the chain. after looking at the Parker, I got to read this. Don't break the chain. My discipline is my freedom. My consistency is my power. I will not break the chain. That's a mantra in and of itself, isn't it? Because discipline equals freedom, which is something that our presentation says and that we're all after in some way, shape, or form. We either want time freedom, financial freedom, or both. And then consistency, it really is power. It equals power because when you're consistent and you know it, when you can say without a doubt, I'm always going to be on time. I'm always going to get up and do my morning routine, do my effort. This is an affirmation that we can get behind because the key is you have to tell yourself and anyone else, I will not, but basically yourself, I will not break the chain. You have to make that commitment to yourself so that everything that comes after is just a building block for keeping that chain going, keeping it strong. Because we know that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So every link has to be powerful. So before we answer these questions, I need you guys to put a one in the chat if you've already created your small win tracker. And let me get to the chat so I can put my one in there. I need to know who's already there. All right. Let's see. Let me make this bigger so I can see what's going on in the chat and see who we got. We got one. Okay. And let me put mine in there. How many people we got on here? We got 18 people, so I need to see 18 ones, or if not, we'll do something different. So I got 1, 2, 3. Anybody else created your small win tracker? All right. Well, then let me show you what it looks like. Let me make sure I can share my screen. And this is not a presentation like the PowerPoint that Fernando had to help me with. So I'm going to hit the share button and grab my small win tracker. So based on the instructions that, or actually the diagram that Dr. Parker put in this chapter, let me make sure. Okay, I got it up. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my, let me make it bigger. My small win tracker.
We see it.
Okay, there it is. That's the other one we're going to talk about in chapter 15, but there it is. So Dr. Parker's looks a little bit different because he did basically a 1 week um, goal sheet for the small wins. And he has in there now, as I said, I expanded it because there's 4 weeks in a month. And so I just duplicated it, but his shows just this piece right here where we have the title, My Small Win to Track, and then you write in, there's a space here in the book. And as you can see, I've put in what I'm going to do for the next month. I've got 3 small wins that I'm going to track over the next month. As you can see on the bottom tab, I've got April and I've got May and June, which also, again, dovetails into the next chapter when we talk about our 90-day deep work blueprint. So, and I wanted these to be business related, not health related or any other factor. So the first thing that I want to do is to explore my back office because MWR has enhanced it so much. We've got so many tools back there. We've got Alex to play with. We've got a lot of things that need to be done. Plus, the stronger I am and the more familiar I am with it, then as my team grows, when they exhaust Alex and they still have questions, they come to me, I'll be able to guide them through. So that's the purpose of that. And then, of course, we know that now that we have Alex as one of our main tools, we just have to become master inviters, mastering the art of invitation, piquing interest, inviting, and then putting that person in front of a tool or on the phone with our VBA so that we can get this thing done. And then the third thing is This is where the fortune is. Got to follow up. We can't just put them in the funnel and leave them there. We got to make sure they get through it. And that's only going to happen if we follow up with them. So those are now I encourage you guys to if you don't already have the book, then yeah, definitely get the book because chapter 14 and 15 are meaty because they're and you'll see in 15 as we get into that in just a moment, how meaty it is. But this is what your tracker should look like. And these little boxes right here, you can create these in an Excel spreadsheet. And if you need some help, I can show you how. But you can check them off just like that, just by clicking. And we like to click, don't we? That's how we build our silver portfolio and how we earn money on our leasing contracts. So we got to become proficient with clicking. All right. So does anybody have anything they want to share from chapter 14 that will also encourage us to not break the chain and to build that streak that we need to keep that momentum going? The floor is open.
I like this tracker. One reason is that it's oftentimes hard to be consistent. Something always gets in the way. So if you got something to kind of visually do and check off, this is it.
Exactly. That's what Dr. Parker intended. That's what he said in the book, is that this is going to help us build our consistency, Ron. So
Yep.
every morning, wake up, you look at it and say, okay, I got these 3 things to do. Let's get it done. You don't have to think about it. Get in the habit.
Hey, David,
Yes, sir.
just a quick comment. I mean, so the tracker makes it real, right? You can post this thing, you can see it, you can physically see it, you can check it off as you go and stack your wins. And that's the purpose, to kind of take it from your mind to a real concept, and
Yes.
and you something that you can see, touch, and feel, and progress as you do it. Check off these things. So that was the purpose, but I think it's very effective because it holds you to it.
Absolutely. And like I said, it dovetails into what we have in our back office with our onboard checklist and our daily activity checklist. So we're going to be held accountable, not only by our team members and our upline, but also just ourselves. We now have the tools to hold ourselves accountable every time we open our back office. And if we keep something like this, then we'll have it for ourselves. Like you suggested, put it on the refrigerator, put it on your bathroom mirror, put it somewhere where it's in your face every day, so you don't lose sight of it. Because again, you can't stopping and starting. I've always heard the analogy that if you aren't consistent, it's like putting a bag of popcorn in a microwave and turning it on, letting it go for 10 seconds, and opening the door to see if it's ready. Then you say it's not ready, close the door, hit the button, power button, and let it go for another 20 seconds. Open the door. It never gets done. You're never going to have that popcorn. But if you leave it in for the appropriate amount of time, let it all pop, then you can have the result. You can have the good enjoyment out of that bag of popcorn. So let's keep our momentum going. Let's remember the difference between motivation and momentum. And by all means, guys, let's create this tracker. All right. If there's no other
David,
comments or yes, ma'am. Hi,
it's
Monifa.
Monifa. Good morning. You're doing an outstanding
Good
job. I
morning.
love your commentary and how you're
Thanks.
engaging with the curriculum. With the literature. Thank you so much. Happy Saturday, everybody from Queens, New York. I'm out here doing what I do. But I just want to say something really little, not really too much. I'm about to go and make a delivery. Yeah, a habit is formed, 30. You do something consistently for 30, 60 days. You have to do it. Everybody write on your paper, don't quit. Everybody's taking notes, right? So write on your paper visually so you can see what I'm trying to show you here. Don't quit. Now, once you have the don't quit on the paper, cross out D O. Okay. Now cross out. Y'all did it? I mean, cross out. No, I did it wrong. I
Yeah. How
mean,
about the
cross out the
NT?
NT. I'm sorry, I did it wrong. I'm like, why is everybody looking like that?
I like,
Cross
why you
out
want
the
to cross out the D?
NT. Right, cross out the NT and cross
Okay.
out the QU. And what does that leave you guys with? Let's go in
Do
unison.
it. Just like
Do
Nike.
it just like Nike. We just gotta keep doing it and doing it till it becomes a habit. I blobbed that up, but keep doing it till it becomes a habit. That's why, when I'm stationary, I'm good. But when I'm like, I have so much, I'm so anxious to participate. Everything comes out so quickly that sometimes I'll chop it up. But in all essence, you're doing an outstanding job. The tracker is amazing to see it visually. When you have something tangible that you can see, you could put it on your mirror, you could put it in your office, you could put it in your car, you could put it in the truck you drive all day, you could put it in your bathroom, on your fridge if you're a constant eater, to remind you, this is what I got to get done, this is how I got to do. And once you tick off the little tick and you stack those wins, you see it, you feel like we said with the momentum, you keep doing it. You have to do it, do it to build the momentum. So thank you so much for allowing me to share. Let's rock out March Madness.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your input as usual. So let me read the three questions that we will be able to address next week when everybody has their small win tracker created and has had a chance to put it into operation. So the first question is, how did this week feel as the streak grew? So Dr. Parker is anticipating that as we continue to do these things on a daily basis, again, that think of a snowball rolling down the hill. It's going to gather more snow. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get stronger. It's going to roll faster. So we want to know, how did it feel as your streak grew? And then another reflection question that'll help improve is, what was the biggest challenge to staying consistent? Man, life be lifing, right? That's the phrase these days. But really examine that during this next week as we go from Saturday to Saturday, and look for the biggest challenge of getting up, looking at your tracker, doing what you said you were going to do, and then checking it off. And then here's the future question, or the question that makes you look forward. First you look back, now you look forward. What is my new commitment for the week to come? So, Dr. Parker, did you intend for us to add small wins as we keep going? Or, because I know there's only two showing here in the book, but I've already created three for myself for this next week and for the next 3 months. So um I guess as things go on and you want to do something to get a small win, you can always create another one. Am I right about that?
You're very correct, sir.
All right. Well, let's move on to chapter 15, because this one, he really is hitting us square in the eyes. Okay, so chapter 15 is entitled Your 90-Day Deep Work Blueprint. You've used the tools, you filled the trackers, you've mastered the art of discipline, embraced momentum over motivation, and you've burned the boats on your old self. You've audited your circle and started to take radical ownership of your mind and your money. You have been through the training, all of those lessons, every check mark, every reflection, every act of courage were not the end goal. They were preparation. This moment is the true test of your discipline and your radical ownership. Most people want a finished blueprint to be handed to them. They want to be told exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. They want a pre-made meal plan for success. But that is the mindset of a follower. And you are here to become a leader. The old you, the one who was stuck and playing small, is screaming right now. It wants a prepackaged solution. It wants comfort. It wants to consume, not to create. But you are not here to consume. You are here to build. Your next level self isn't a prepackaged product. It's a masterpiece. You must design and build yourself. The ultimate act of discipline isn't following a plan, it's creating one. It's taking raw vision and turning it into a strategic, actionable blueprint. The act of creating your own plan forces you to think. It forces you to confront the obstacles you know you'll face. And it forces you to take full, undeniable ownership of your mission. This is the difference between an employee and an entrepreneur. The former follows a plan, the latter creates one. All right. I'm going to stop there because the next paragraph is action. So let's talk about the concepts that the theory that Dr. Parker has put before us. And man, he's made a lot of assumptions about us, hasn't he? Using the tools, filling the trackers, mastering discipline, embracing momentum over motivation, burning the boats, all those previous chapters. He's presuming that we've internalized that and we've done the work to get to this point where now, instead of acting like a employee and a consumer, we're a leader and a prosumer and a creator of a blueprint that's going to take us to the next level. I love the way he says the old you is screaming right now, because isn't that the case when we want to do so, we want to make a change in our lives? Our old habits, our old selves are saying, no, no, stay the way you are. It's comfortable here. We don't want to, we don't know what's on the other side of that. We don't know what people are going to say to us. We don't know how much money we're really going to make. It's scary over there. Let's stay right here. We got this paycheck. We got this routine. We got this traffic jam that we get out into every morning, every night. It's what we do. We're on that 40-40 plan and it's working for us, so we think. But now Dr. Parker's saying, wait a minute, look at all that I've just poured into you. And now we're going to put it all together and really get this thing going. Really set it in stone so that from now on, your old self maybe it's going to be a distant voice. It's going to take a little bit of time once we get this practical application in. But guess what, folks? Again, momentum starts, and it's just like that jet on the runway. You got to build up the speed to get out of the Earth's gravitational pull so you can fly. It's the same thing with us. If we want to fly with this MWR plane that we have, this jet, this rocket that we can ride now into financial security and wealth building, we've got to get it on the road. We've got to get it moving. So I definitely want to hear from the group about these nuggets that he put here and building a strategic, actionable blueprint. And it's only for 90. He's even given us a time frame. So, difference between an employee and an entrepreneur. What do you guys have to say about that?
Hello, David. Fernando here.
Hey,
Hey, what a great way to put things together, documented, because it starts to build a habit within you. And the participation of coming to events, I think, holds you accountable to it because you know you don't feel alone, right? Because we want everything packaged, as you alluded to, and the book talks about, and we're so accustomed to that because that's the way we have been conditioned since we are born, right? We rely on our parents, they support us, they guide us, and then they put us in the hands of school teachers. And again, we're relying on teachers. So we're actually becoming that type of dependable person on systems. So transitioning this type of thought process takes time because most of us are so accustomed having others packaging things for us. So when we go to a job, we're held accountable to schedules, following not the leader, but the employer, the manager. And if we don't do our assignments, what's the payback? You're fired, right? So I think anytime we comprehend freedom, we have to understand that we have two responsibilities: the employee and the employer. So we have to deal within ourselves. Anytime we don't do our assignments, what we're doing is basically saying, I'm firing myself. And this book allows us to put our thoughts together to understand exactly that we are dealing with two responsibilities: the employer and the employee, right? So anytime you don't do your assignments to move forward and step away from a job, you're firing yourself. You're bringing yourself back into having someone else packaging things for you instead of you putting up with the punches of rolling with your own responsibilities as independent person, right? So that's what I like this incredible reading club, because it allows me to engage with other like-minded people like yourself.
Yes.
And I want to thank you so
Yes.
much for what you're putting together. You're simplifying things. You show us all the graphics of what you're doing, of holding yourself accountable to what we do. But Dr. G.W. Parker has packaged this incredible book with very
Yep.
specific, simple assignments for us to do. Thank you, David.
And I'm glad, thank you, Fernando, for segueing into the next step, because Dr. Parker says, this is your mission. Stop reading. So I stopped reading. Now, guys, I know this may be a little uncomfortable, and if you're in your pajamas or you're in some other compromising position, of course, don't do this. But for those of you who can, the instructions Dr. Parker has given us for this: stop reading, take a blank page, a fresh notebook, or a new document. So, got to come off camera, show me what you got. Okay, Fernando's got a book, a notebook. So let me show you what I've got while you get yourself together and show me what you've got. So let me get my screen sharing back on. Let me show you what Dr. Parker inspired me to create. And I am so glad he did, because this, again, guys, whew, we get this part right. uh, Mr. House is going to be just over the moon with excitement, because this thing right here. All right, so here's my notebook, an Excel spreadsheet. And let me read the other instructions so you can see that I followed them in creating this. This is my 90-day blueprint. So here are the instructions. Well, first of all, let me read the rest. It says you are going to create your own 90-day deep work planner from scratch. Now, see, that reminds me of when I was in art class when I was a kid. I hated art. And it was only because I didn't think I was creative. I would just make circles on the page. Starting something from scratch, Fernando, you hit it on the head. We're so used to somebody else giving us direction. And I've been on and this really hits home now because you reminded me of this. When I was with a major corporation, it was an international corporation, and I was in the accounts payable section to start. I just started with the company, and it amazed me. People were sitting next to me on the left and my right, and they had been in those same chairs for decades, 20, 25 years, and had no ambition for getting out of that seat. They didn't want to go up. They didn't want to go down. They just wanted to maintain the status quo, get that paycheck, keep their union benefits, and they turned their brains off, because what they were doing, they had been doing year after month, at week after week, month after month, year after year. And they weren't going to change it. Blew my mind, because that's not the way I was trained in school. That's not the way I was looking for my career to go. It's like, you got all this energy, you got this excitement. How can you bottle it up and just sit there like a robot automaton and just wait for things externally to be played on you? instead of you making those changes. So this isn't just an activity, guys. It's your first major act of leadership on this new journey. And who do we lead first before we grow our teams? Some of you already have teams that got you to 5-star, 3-star, but there are others here on the platform that are just starting out or that have had some success like me and then had to backtrack because those folks that were in lockstep weren't in lockstep. They dropped off. So now it's like I'm a new QMD and I'm beginning the journey anew. And this is great. It's fresh. It's new. And now we got these great tools to make it a reality. It's the moment you stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the architect of your destiny. All of that says build, design, create. Those are really active verbs, and they lend themselves to, the just letting your imagination run free. So let's take those imaginations and follow Dr. Parker's instruction. It says, get a blank page. All right, I don't see any blank pages here. Where's everybody's blank page? Let me see what you got. Acknowledge that the canvas is yours. The lines you draw, the goals you set, and the plans you make are the ultimate proof of your commitment. So step one, define your 90-day mission. Okay, guys, I really need your participation here. Who's got a blank page other than me and Fernando? David came off. All right. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. Anybody else? Let's see. Let me make this grow. All right. No.
Taking notes right here on my sheet of paper.
Taking notes. Fernando, we know you got your notebook. Nobody else. All right. Well, I'm going to show you what Dr. Parker inspired me to do. Let me read the instructions, and then I'm going to show you how I comply. So the first thing is to define your 90-day mission. At the very top of your page, write down just one major project or mission you will dedicate yourself to for the next 90 days. Be specific. This is your target. Don't make it vague, and I'll show you in a minute how that looks for me. Break it down. Divide your page into 3 distinct sections, days 1 through 30, 31 through 60, and 61 through 90. Label each section. This is your strategic sprint. So, it's like the 400-meter hurdles, or the 400-meter relay, rather, where there's 4 participants and each one has to go as fast as they can to get to the next person to pass the baton. You guys have seen that relay race, right? So you're running a 100-yard dash 4 times with 4 different people. So that's what we're going to do here with this 90-day deep, what did he call this? Deep work blueprint. Sorry. All right. So number 3, set your milestones. For each 30-day phase, define a major milestone you must hit to move the project forward. This is the goal for that particular phase. And then number 4, create your tracking system. For each day, create a clear, simple way to track your deep work sessions. This could be a check mark, a box to write in your time, or a brief note on your progress. And then number 5, build in a feedback loop. At the end of each 30-day section, add a place for reflection. I like the way he does this. Chapter 14 ended with reflection. Now chapter 15 is doing the same. Ask yourself 3 questions. What worked? What didn't work? And then what is my new focus for the next 30 days? This is not a test to see if you can follow instructions. It's a test to see if you are a creator. It's a test of your discipline. It's a test of your ownership. And he ends with that same phrase he did in 14. The work begins now. So let me show you one version of, or at least my version of this 90-day blueprint. And then you guys who have the book check me on my steps to make sure I did it. Okay. So step one, identify the mission, the one project. So mine reads, if you can't see it, because it is, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but I said for the next 90 days, I will take the 100 no challenge 3 times. Now, let me tell you what the 100 no challenge is.
Can I get Tracy? Come get it.
Okay, Monifa. It has been said
I
that
get it.
in our industry, if you ask 100 people, 100 different people to look at your opportunity to and give them an opportunity to join your business, you won't be able to get to 100 no's before you get 5 yeses. And 5 is our magic number. It gets us our 3 Q&Ds plus a spare or two, which we can then either keep frontline for ourselves or um, build with our downline build with. So every month I'm intending to get 5 yeses before I get 95 nos. Okay, and as you can see, I've got it broken down by months. For days 1 through 30 are the month of April. Perfect. I mean, April's only got 30 days. And as you can see, I made a simple chart with no's in every box, 95 of them. And then the last 5 are the yeses that I should get before I get anywhere close to column J with those last 5 no's. Did the same thing for May. That's days 31 through 60. And I actually get a day of rest in May. There's Memorial Days in May. So maybe I'll take that day out. I doubt it. But May has 31. We're only doing 30. And then we get to June, which is another 30-day month. So I'm going to repeat this 3 times because look at it, folks. Get the first 5 yeses in April. So I'm an executive director. I get the next 5 yeses in May. And then we're 2 star. Well, let's see, that's 10. So I got to go 2 more. So got to get the next 2 in June. And that gets me to 2 star. And then I'm well on my way because, of course, the team that said yes, those 5 that said yes, they're going to be doing the same thing because what our system is geared toward and built for is duplication. So the same thing I'm doing, and I'm going to share with them, and they're going to do it. And so their results will be similar to mine. So my team's automatically going to grow. And then here are the questions he asked for reflection. Okay, so first of all, these are the milestones. I got to get the 5 yeses each month. Okay, I got it separated into 3 sections for each 30-day period, and then on the side, I've got the reflection questions. I'm going to note what worked during those 30 days, what didn't work, and then my new focus. And that's going to be my 90-day blueprint for the next 90 days, beginning on April 1st. Actually, I'm going to start it before then, but you didn't hear me say that. So, did anybody else prior to this morning do what chapter 15 requires? No? Well, great. We're all going to do it together. So, let me hear some ideas on how you're going to. You see how I did mine on app. I'm an Excel guy because of my accounting background. So, I love Excel. So, what are you guys going to do to make your 90-day deep work blueprint?
David, I am not in front of my office right now. I'm in another section, but I do have a board in front of me where I project my daily activities. And based on my next
Okay.
90 days, obviously, I do have a blueprint that I have created, similar to yours, but I'm constantly, rewriting it again. So the board is in front of my desk. I got my computer, and then I got my list of contacts, the content I'm gonna expose in social media. So it's not as detailed as yours, but in my subconscious mind, I'm erasing constantly, re-engineering my idea. When something didn't work and I'm working on my list, I go back and reprogram my idea to be able to continue to move forward with information. and conversations, because the name of the game is inventory. What is our inventory? Our list of contacts, as you alluded to. 100 prospects equals 5 yeses. And then from the 5 yeses, teaching your team to do the same thing to compound your effort. But I like the
Mhm.
way you put it there, because you're not relying on who's going to do what. You're taking full responsibility of your daily activities. If someone does something, thank God they did it. But if they don't, you still got your blueprint in front of you, and you're counting on bringing your 5. That's what
Yep.
basically inspires people to do something, right? Because the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. Eventually, out of those 15 people, you find 3 heavy hitters like you, boom, done. It explodes. The roadmap explodes. So appreciate that. I'm gonna start see if I can start doing that. Martha can help me with something like that, because she's very creative with hands-on on putting tools like exactly the way you projected it. She'll get it
Yeah.
done. Watch. She's probably listening right now, taking some notes. Thank you, David.
Yeah, your teamwork makes the dream work. And Fernando, this also helps us to stay in phase one activity. When you get to a certain level, some people want to try to duplicate their job by making themselves a supervisor or a manager, and they just want to lord over their team. But no, this holds you accountable and makes you focus in on doing what got you where you are in the first place every day. You stay in phase one, you're making those contacts, like you said, revising your list, keeping your inventory, keeping your funnel full. Because remember, people make decisions on different speeds. They have to make it according to their lives. And we can't control that. It's their money until it's not. And if they don't want to improve their situation, we can't do anything for them except pray for them and continue to ask them, are you ready? Check back on you in 6 months, put them in the closet, see if the light bulb comes on in 6 months. Because we're going to keep changing, we're going to keep growing, we're going to keep improving. I mean, just look at where we are now. And if you had told me we are going to be where we are now with the seals, our precious metals leasing, our fundable 360, no way. No way. But
Now,
Mr. House and Damo, they keep looking for great ways to enhance us and help us to make wealth real. That's a
well,
real thing.
David, look, we have now the system that they're creating for us. I'm kind of playing with it already, inviting folks for the
Mhm.
event on Monday. So it kind of holds us accountable when you go to your back office to see exactly what your daily activities are, right? And once you
Yeah.
you commit to the assignments, you put the check mark, right? So it registers in the system. And I tested it yesterday. I sent the link for the Monday event, and I sent it to a bunch of people all at once. And all of a sudden, right, I click on it. It did. Wow, what do I do now? Because I guess when I copied it, it had a little
A
something
little.
towards the end of the invitation. I just copied it because
Right.
I
Right.
I created the script in the GPT Chat GPT, and I put the link there, and Chat GPT put a little something. So when I exploded that invitation, it
Yeah.
clicked and it wouldn't open. I was like, oh my God, what do I do different now? So I contacted Mr. Brian House, and he goes, you put a little something there that created the glitch. So he made me my original copy, and I resent it back out, and 7 people
Okay.
responded. Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent.
yeah, they
And that's another thing, Fernando. We don't need to overthink. Like I said in chapter 14, we talk about the habits. And once you get into the habit, every morning you go to your back office. Every morning you check off those items on the daily activity checklist. You look at your 90-day tracker. Just those small things. It seems overwhelming now. It seems like a lot. That's because you haven't done it yet. You got to do it, and you got to keep doing it until, just like, hey, at one point you didn't brush your teeth. You didn't have to because you didn't have any. But when you got them, your mom and dad taught you how, then you kept doing it. It was tough at first, but you kept doing it. And now it's just you can do it in your sleep. I've actually done
yeah.
that before.
If not, cavities will remind you. I remember when I was a kid,
Ex-
I had a cavity. I had a cavity that was like, oh my God. My mom told me to brush my teeth. I do ate a lot
Yeah.
of candy.
Consequences, my friend, consequences. And the positive is you have that winning smile when you do the right thing. And if you don't, then you've got to go see the dentist and get that taken care of.
Exactly.
Guys, I feel like I'm monopolizing things. Where's all this? Come on, what's going on out there? Talk to me. We got 8 minutes, or what are we on? 7 minutes, Fernando?
Yeah, we got 7 minutes, David, but you're doing a phenomenal job. Thank you so much. I'm taking a lot of notes, and I really appreciate this. There's Ron.
We have to really thank Dr. Parker for following through with the inspiration and not remaining stuck wherever he was when he couldn't finish the book, and God sent him whatever he needed in order to complete this. Because, like I said, these 2 chapters, they fit right in with what we've got going on. So
Mhm.
I think we ought to probably revisit this next week to see if everybody's gotten this, or at least some form of it in place, so that we are not just reading this book for entertainment, we're reading it for improvement.
Yeah, I think
That's
we
your
should go
intention.
back to it at least twice a year, go back to it and revisit as a group, and then, read other books, go back to this book again. This should be a book that everyone that signs up with MWR, we should say this is a book that goes with this incredible platform that we have in our business.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. And then when we have our team events, hey, the author's going to sign your book when you come to the event.
You go.
So get your writing hand ready, Dr. Parker.
I'm going to
Well,
accept that concept of a 90-day run minus a couple of family events. I didn't create something like Dr. Parker did. I like that, but I got a list to follow, meaning that's the one where I put who I called and next call. And here's the list of about 10 people per page. So I'll be
all right.
inundated for a while.
Good job, Ron.
You'll have a full funnel, Ron. That's great.
Yep.
Keep them
There's,
moving.
Yep.
Keep them
Hey,
moving.
David,
there's people out
Yes,
there.
sir.
good deal. Hey, just wanted to add this real quick, and I'm on the road today, but great read this morning. And guys, the key, I think David and Fernando kind of laid it out. They were perfect examples of what needs to happen next. You need to take action. We need to move forward now and make this thing work for you, because we do know if you do it, it will work for you. You just got to be consistent. But before even being consistent, you got to be committed to it, committed to the process. I mean, so if nothing changes, then nothing changes. So if we don't make a move, then we're stuck where we are, and that's where we'll remain until we decide that we want something different, right? So these are tools that you're
Yes,
being
sir.
given through this book, but you have to activate these things. You have to put these things to work. You have to begin to apply them, because we know that success is in the application. And for those who don't succeed, there's no application, there's no follow through. So, how serious are we about this life that we dream of having? That's what we've got to get committed to. And I'm telling you, so Fernando and David and even Ron, I can guarantee your success. You're going to win because you're doing it. You're not talking about it. You're actually putting it in action, and you're following through. Make that level of commitment, man. We can't lose.
And Dr. Parker, here's the level of accountability I'm willing to accept, is that for everybody on this Zoom right now, that next week when we come together again, you are free to ask me, David, let me see your 90-day tracker. Let me see your small win tracker. And then, like Dr. Parker said, am I committed? Am I really committed to my own success? Or am I just, doing this because I was the reader this morning? The proof will be in the pudding next week. And
There
I
you go.
submit myself to the group as my 18 accountability partners.
I support you, David, 100%.
Yeah,
You know what, David?
appreciate you, Ron.
I like that you have exposed, your accountability publicly. I had two of my team partners this week. Ron was one that when we talked for a while on his plan, and Michael Slaughter. So now I see the engagement is like we are synchronizing something big that is about to happen. We are anticipating it, and today you brought it to public. So I'm telling you, I took a lot of notes. Appreciate that.
It's my pleasure. Believe me, I was really excited to get this one out because of the practical nature of what we got going.
Yep.
All
So it
right.
holds us accountable. It holds us accountable.
Anybody got any more questions, suggestions, recommendations, insights, aha moments?
I guess everybody's working on their blueprint.
I get
Well, I got an insight for me. It's
all right.
sometimes just the magnitude of 300 or 400 people to call, or the magnitude of 90 days, or the magnitude of talking to people. It just needs to mentally, for me, start with just make one call. That's it. Then make another one if you choose, but consistently make one. So that's how my mindset has to go. Otherwise, it's overwhelming. It's just flat out overwhelming for Ron, not necessarily for y'all, but it is for me. So it's like, okay, do just one. Start with the most simplest thing you can, which is pick up the phone. And then the next one item is dial it. And the next one is say hello or something. Or did I catch you at a bad time? So that's my motivation to start, so to speak.
That's a good place.
Start
You got to start there.
start with one, and then when you hang up, drink some coffee, and then go for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Make
Drink
sure you
coffee again.
smile when you get. Yep. Because it's gonna get easier. What it's the first one that holds you back because
Yeah.
your mind is talking you out of it instead of talking you into it, which is what Dr. Parker said, is that our old self is screaming, no, I don't want to go forward. I like it here.
Yep.
It's cold out there on the other side of making stuff up, being a leader, creating, being the architect of your own success. That's scary. But again, that's only in your mind because we have the tools.
We sure do.
We have the tools.
All right.
David turned on his video. Do you have something to say, David?
I usually think it's not anything that's important enough because so many good things are coming out. But yeah, I was thinking about how the entrepreneur, you become the leader, you make up the plan, you put it together, you follow that plan, versus the employee who wants a plan and tell me what I should do next. And as with many things, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If I tend to be creative and want to make things up and say, oh, this would work. Oh, this would be better. Oh, and what I know is I've got to build it around the systems and tools that MWR gives us. They have a plan. If somebody's looking for a plan, they have a plan. You don't have to get creative there. What you have to get creative with is your own life to try to make that work. As I'm trying to write them down and said,
You muted, David. You muted,
yeah,
David.
sorry, my phone went off.
There you go.
As I'm trying to follow it, I say, okay, well, let's follow somebody who's done it. The old saying is people who say it can't be done are interrupting the people who are doing it. And so, okay, you got a good start there, David. What's the goal here I want to have? And I couldn't write it the way you had it. I'm not sure you meant it the way you wrote it, because when you spoke about it, you didn't say it the same way. On your Excel sheet, you said, my goal is 95 no's, or up to 95 no's before I get 5 yeses. Well, my goal is, say, the 5 yeses, And if it takes 95 no's, I'll do it. But I'll do anything that it takes to get to that 5 yeses. But my goal is not the no's. I'll put up with that. But the goal is the successful action, and then repeating that. Rinse and repeat, that old story. So,
David, I'm glad you mentioned that because I did say that incorrectly. The mantra is that before you get that many no's, you'll get the 5 yeses. Okay, if you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, it's just that like you said, be prepared and don't stop. Don't let that first rejection stop you from going, because the yes is just on the other side. So thank you for clarifying, because that is true. That's not my goal, is to get 95 no's. I want those 5 yeses as quickly as possible and then keep going. I want more than that. But if it happens that
put it, then it's
I run into if I run into a bunch of knuckleheads, I'm good.
Yeah, I can't believe there are that many people out there who can't see what I see. But that's, you get no's. What I can look at anybody out there, I don't care what position they're in, that something with MWR, it would help them. I mean, you can take the richest guy around, and guess what? If he was in silver, it would even be better for him. And so, yeah, somebody may say, yeah, it would be good for me, but I really don't want that. I actually knew someone one time, I'm a dentist, and was working that had some other medical issues, and I had some knowledge about that and some other patients with experience, and I asked her, I said, so if there was something that could help you with that, would you want to know about it? She said, no, my doctor would already told me, no.
Wow.
So, people get in a mindset, and they support, their life is supported by who they are. And sometimes who they are is sick, or who they are is, I can't make it out. And it takes changing the mindset. That's why we're here, right? To see that you can make it out, or you can do what it is you see in your mind that you want to do. Set that goal that you had.
And that's what Dr. Parker was alluding to when he said we have to have the winning mindset. You're absolutely right. If you think you're going to lose, half the battle is over. You already put yourself in the losing spot. But if you flip that and you say, somehow I'm going to win, then you look for ways to win. And another thing about that I wanted to bring out about those employees is that not only did they not want to explore things that would improve, but if they weren't told to do something, they didn't. They only did what the employer said, put in my job description or what they told me to do last week. That's all I'm going to do. They don't go a step further. They don't try to improve it. They just do what they're told, like little miniature robots. And that's so detrimental. But that's not us, right?
Nope.
Right?
Well, here's
We're going
one
to get
thing to have
excited.
fun with. I said, here's one thing to have fun, guys. When we are making calls, the word no, I've learned to use it, and I made it an acronym, which is next opportunity on the next call.
I like that.
Yeah.
You put that on my tracker.
I'd just
Yeah.
like to add two pieces. In all my calls, I first think how I'm going to be different from other calls that people get. And the second thing is how am I going to be interested? That means when I make a call, I need to know a little bit about that person and talk about something that is of interest to that person. And in that, the conversation can proceed to getting the person to see a video or getting the person to see some other conference, but or even to sample the videos that the MWR has. But the two things which are essential is one is to be different. The second thing is to have something that interests the person. That means before I call a person, I find out at least one thing that that person is interested in so that he will pay attention. That's my suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
Sounds like
see,
you've
David,
developed a short version of form.
That's
like
right.
father, like son.
That's right. Yeah, you
You
got
see
to
why
get to
Eric
know
will.
them.
Go ahead, Monica. Sorry about that.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. I'm just trying to
Love
get
that.
in because I'm, stopping and going. But I I have a question that I usually ask. I try to include, let them know it's not just me, and I'm not cooking something up in my house in my basement somewhere. I have a team. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm working with some people that's helping me build an income stream, and I let them know it's not for everyone. But if you're open, I'll plug you in. That's after you form them and you find out all that you need to know about them, and what interests them, what gets them going, what's their hot buttons, and all of that. And my rhythm with that was like getting them to three presentations per week by just doing that alone. However, I'm with my tracker, I was supposed to close, it's 10 calls I make, 5 conversations, mostly comes out of the 10. And then I get them to at least 3 presentations, and I'm supposed to get 1 to 2. People. Oh, okay, I'll get back with you. So it didn't really work out how my plan sets it out, but you just keep moving and you keep going. You can't get discouraged.
So, Guy, Monifa, I'm glad you said that because now that we have Alex at our disposal, and for one of our great team members, can anybody share how they've used? I know Dr. Parker is like Alex's side piece, so we need to know what you guys have been doing to incorporate her either in your peak process, your follow-up process, or actually training your new QMDs, because that's the way I plan to use her. Anybody started doing that yet?
I use her for three-way calls with new prospects
Yep.
to train our team partners, and it's very efficient. But at the end of the day, you get feedback. But I'm glad, that I get to talk to you is what I hear people say, right? You have the assistant, they go, especially the new people that I've exposed to three-way call. I say, yeah, it makes our job easier. As in case we're too busy handling other clients or prospects that we're talking to, you have something immediately to respond to your questions. And the person said, you know what, it's pretty accurate. I like it. I like it. She goes, but through you sounds better. I'm like, okay, I'm just a compliment of her.
Fernando
Yeah,
used it on me a couple of days ago,
that's
and
right.
'cause I hadn't used it before, and I was totally impressed. It just did excellent. I asked her a question. I couldn't get her to stop. she kept going.
Yeah, she
And
keeps
I'm a man
asking
of
you, what can I do
questions.
for you now? Yeah,
Yeah.
I had I had the same experience, Ron. I had a prospective customer, and she was interested in two of our strategies, the precious metals and the DCA. And once I introduced, and Alex is so friendly, hey David, hey Kelly, how are you? And once I turned the prospect on and she started asking questions, she couldn't stop. Oh, okay. Well, what about this? Oh, okay. It is great. And you just shut up. I didn't say anything until there was a gap when Alex had answered all of her questions. Then I said, okay, Alex, why don't you share with her about this? And then she went off again. So I mean, it really makes the prospective client feel comfortable that they're good, And then also like Fernando and you just alluded to, it's a great training tool for our new business partners.
Yep.
Because they don't know anything either.
Mhm.
And so we can help guide them through a question and answer period with her and get their questions answered so they feel more comfortable about sharing it. So like I said, this thing is going to be rocket ship to Venus.
Yeah. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to as soon as we hang up, is to ask her about the process of, say, like setting up diversified cash flow or bank. And because I haven't asked her, I don't know what her explanation would be. But the
You
questions that
got
I
it.
have not asked other people, I'm gonna start finding out what she knows. Because I imagine it knows that already.
It does. I'm a witness. Yep, she knows.
Excellent. All
Like
right.
Mr. House said, she's compliant and she's efficient.
She sure is.
Covers
Well,
all the
ladies and gentlemen,
bases.
it looks like we got 1 minute. 1 minute to start the invitations for the next event that we have. So, David, thank you so much for being here with us this morning, sharing all your wisdom and what you brought us to the table. I'm leaving with a lot on my plate to be able to put it together. And next Saturday, we'll talk about what you just shared with us today. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll
All
project it on
right,
my
sir.
screen.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate it. My pleasure.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually getting ready to start. If you want to send out those last invites and get some of our prospects, because I was supposed to do it, I did a few. I'm glad that I kind of did two in one invitations. So let me pop up the screen and we're gonna get started with a presentation in a quick 30 seconds. Right. I love our Saturday mornings. It's amazing to see that we have a mastermind of entrepreneurs that come together, the joy that we're able to share with one another. All right, so David, let me know if you can see the screen just about now. 3, 2, 1. Yes.
There it is.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. Hey, everyone, let's give David
Absolutely.
fire emojis in the chat. He did a phenomenal job this morning. Everyone that actually participated with your conversations and your comments, I take a lot with me. That's why I never miss one. And not unless it's an emergency, pray to God that never, until we grow the community and then others run with it too. And then we can vacation, take some time away and do our things. But once again, this is Fernando. It's an honor to be here with each and every one of you this morning. And if you are here for the very first time, I want you to really pay very close attention. And at the end, the only thing that you're going to do is thank the person that invited you to our conversation. All right. So Make Wealth Real, it's a platform that my wife and I have been able to enjoy the past almost 4 years. It has brought us peace of mind when it comes to what we do for families out there. And the conversations has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with you. We're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about your dreams, your future. And what I want you to think about when you see the name Make Wealth Real, it's real. Okay. A lot of us have a hard time comprehending how beautiful this sounds. Okay. And we can imagine what it would feel like. And we're going to give you a test drive today to take a look at what we have and why we have made the decision to be a part of this incredible community. We just came off of a reading club of entrepreneurs that it gives you so much power to belong to this incredible company because we do have the community. Okay, so this is a new way to build wealth. All right, let's go here. Building wealth isn't what it used to be. I want you to know that times are changing and they will continue to change. So we have to learn to adapt. Market changes, but one thing will never change is your story, your attitude of gratitude, implementing new tools. Especially in today's economic times, Technology is advancing faster than ever, and artificial intelligence is replacing people's jobs. What was it, the month of February? 92,000 people lost their jobs while reshaping entire industries in real time. I remember when I came to this country back in 1980, it was all factory work. My mom worked at a factory, my dad worked at a factory, and those companies don't even exist anymore. Okay. So at the same time, the divide between the haves and the have nots keeps getting wider every year. And that's the thing about, where we're positioning ourselves, because there's three kind of lifestyles: poor, middle class, upper middle class, and then wealthy. So let's find out where we are with the opportunities. Okay. This is where we're going, which raises an important question, right? How do some people keep thriving financially while others struggle just to keep up? It's a good question, right? And this is what we're going to learn. We're going to learn, and we're going to have the answer just right here. It's called leverage. I remember when I heard leverage for the first time, I didn't even know what it meant until I took the time to really study what it meant. The people who thrive financially are working harder. They simply have access to systems. Now, if you want to understand what the word system stands for, it's an acronym that we have created and entrepreneurs are giving us the ideas, is save yourself time, energy, and money. Strategies, experts, and assets that allow their money and their efforts to compound and work harder than they do. Wow. Leverage, that's exactly what it means. It gives you power. Unfortunately, most people were never shown how these systems really work or how to access them. All right. Money plays a vital role, but it's not just money that people want. How many of you want time freedom? Put number one in the chat if you want more time freedom, more predictable income, more peace of mind, the ability to live life on your own terms. Wow. I mean, that makes me take a fresh air. Like last Saturday, Mr. David Gibson gave us a training. I'm back, okay? And I hope we can have that training back again, Mr. David Gibson. It was amazing. Imagine building wealth without having to work more hours, taking massive risk, sacrificing your current lifestyle. I want you to think about that for a quick minute, because in my surroundings, our neighbors, we don't order online so they can bring us food at the house. We like to go out and do our things, but we see our neighbors always ordering online. And we see sometimes elder folks that are sacrificing, they're taking those meals to people's homes, and they're keeping away probably some time from their families or retirement time because they don't have a way to be able to have this type of peace of mind. And that's why we create opportunities like the ones we have to be able to change people's thinking a little bit and educate them in new ways to generate income. What if you could build wealth without using your existing income? I want you to think about your income pie chart right now, okay? Without waiting decades, without becoming a financial expert. What if you could make the system work for you the same way it works for wealthy families and institutions it was designed for? Okay, so now we have the keys to be able to have access to systems. And you'll be surprised at the end. And what basically how small of an investment it is for you to have a tremendous rate of return. So right now I want you to create an image and think about this being your speedometer of your dream car. Okay, as a matter of fact, last night I was looking at some dream cars and on video just to kind of hear the sound of the dream car, and I came across Lamborghinis. Okay, so think about this being your dream car. Smell that leather interior. You're sitting in this dream car, and this is your speedometer right here. MWR is the brand. Exists to help you achieve time freedom. It gives you more control over your daily schedule. It also gives you the opportunity of financial independence by having access to residual and passive income. It gives you faster results, leverage, to accelerate progress, right, with power. It gives you a safer and smarter way to manage your risk. Expert-driven results. So this is your money-making machine. This is your speedometer that it gives you access to accelerate the process to achieve financial freedom. Now, this isn't theory. We've tested it, Martha and I, for the last 4 years, and it drives smooth, ladies and gentlemen. It really does. It's proven. It has a proven system that it's already working for thousands. So David is one of our, you're an accountant, right, David? Yep, he's an accountant. So he knows how to recognize opportunities. And when you're working alongside team partners that are accountants, you're like, this vehicle fits everybody. I was a plumber, working too many hours for so little money. And I'm working next to an accountant with an incredible vehicle because it fits everybody. All right, so let's talk about the first way to create wealth. MWR has created a unique way to grow your wealth, basically. And obviously, we see crypto, we see Forex, we see the stock market, real estate. We do it without the risk of headaches or special skills required to participate in these methods. We do it using the most trusted asset in history, precious metals, God's money. And we can do it with or without using your existing income. Think about that. You have access to assets without having to use your existing income. We're going to show you how to do that. All right, so introducing America's first and only precious metal income system. At MWR, precious metals aren't just a way to store value. We put them to work for you. Passive income. That's another thing I didn't even understand before. I didn't even know what residual income was. I didn't even know what passive income was. I learned this, by looking at opportunities like this. Your metals actively work to create a consistent flow of monthly income. Think about what I just said. Your metals. A lot of people store them, and it's good to store metals, but we are having access to have your metals work for you. Exclusive to MWR. High-level yield precious metals lease agreements you can't get anywhere else. So we are first to market, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what happens when you are first to market to opportunities? Ask whoever bought the formula of Coca-Cola what that means. We are the first to market, ladies and gentlemen. So this means you have access to that Coca-Cola formula that is going to make you wealthy, and it's called passive income through precious metal rental agreements. The first to market, okay? Now, precious metals gives you access, and I want you to think about inflation, gas prices, everything's going up. But this right here assures you the opportunity to earn up to 2% monthly, which is a 24% annually rate of return. Inflation will never beat that. Benefits from asset appreciation, tangible liquid real assets that you own, no headaches, no special skills needed. Simple. Click to buy, click to earn, and get pay. So past performance obviously does not guarantee future performance. Fixed monthly returns regardless of market volatility. And now it's a good time to purchase because they're on sale. Okay. Silver. Take a look at silver and you're going to see what it's done for the last 5 years and you'll be impressed. Google it. See what 1 ounce was counting 5 years ago, costing 5 years ago, and what it costs now. Most wealth plans require more money. Ours creates it. No need to drain savings, no second job required, no financial expertise needed, no guessing or do-it-yourself strategies. MWR's wealth system is expert-driven and self-funding. Okay, so let's get right into it. But Fernando, I don't have the money to buy precious metals. It's okay, no problem. Remember, we have said that earlier, you don't have to have money. MWR uses 3 methods to fund and grow your precious metals portfolio without sacrificing your current income or lifestyle. So I want you to think about your pie chart again, and think about where your money is going. Okay, so we're going to find money somewhere or where your money is going to redirect it where it needs to go. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is reclaiming, shifting expenses into income. We're going to show you earn income to refer, and we're also going to show you how to leverage, you know, money so you can actually have your money work for you. So let's talk about shifting. Okay, so how many of you on this Zoom call have had or have debt? Okay, so we're going to show you how to eliminate it. Tax. How many of you are paying too much taxes? We're going to show you how to reduce your taxes. Bills. We all pay bills, right? Electricity, cell phone, internet, credit restoration, healthcare reduction, daily purchase discount. So if we talk about the first three, a lot of your money goes out the door on these first three, debt, taxes, and bills. And also, let's add another one, discounts on purchases, because we constantly purchase. We take our kids to eat, we take a little vacation. So spending is where most people's money is at. And that's the reason they get to hurt their credit sometimes, because they cannot have enough money to be able to supply all their expenses, especially with gas prices going up, people losing jobs. Well, guess what? Sometimes the credit gets hurt. So we have experts that show you exactly what you need to do. Now having access to even AI, which is artificial intelligence, that is going to show you exactly what you need to do to save anywhere between $700 to as much as $2,000 per month. So this is called shifting all your expenses back into income. Now we have found money. Okay. Now, the other way to be able to have access to more money besides shifting expenses to income is referring other people. I mean, we constantly refer. We refer a movie, a restaurant, a salon, a grooming pet place. We're constantly referring a gym membership, Costco card membership. So we are constantly referring. Think about helping other 12 families to come together as a community to learn a new way of seeing life's income opportunities. Now you can generate an additional $600 a month on top of your shifting expenses back into income. Let's assume you were able to shift expenses back into income $400. Now let's add another $600 for referring other folks. Okay, this can give you a car payment. What about this community begins to grow and we all come together and start educating ourselves using systems? It grows to 36, $1,500 a month. 90, $3,000 a month. What more can you pay with that? We're not talking about adding extra work. We're just talking about spreading the word. Imagine you're constantly referring something to someone, and you don't call that work. You call that, I'm having a good time referring something that I'm enjoying and that I'm using. How about this growing and becomes a movement where now you got 480 people that are not talking about how tough the economy is. We're all talking about prosperity. Now you have access to a six-figure income opportunity. What would you do with $100,000? You can fire your boss, and you can start really freeing up time to spend with your family and travel the world. This can eventually grow to 6,000 people. Imagine having 6,000 families that are talking about financial prosperity. See, this is what we do. We bless families, and this is how we accelerate and multiply our income. All right, let's dream a little bit bigger. I want you right now to take out, or if you're on your phone, take a picture of this screen here. And I want you to start dreaming. Remember, we talked about the vehicle. This is your vehicle to financial freedom. I want you to think about your daily pay. And I want you to compare it to what you're making now. What would it take for you to fire your job or fire other activities that take you away from your family? So you can talk about $5 per day, $150, little extra cash, right? $20 per day, $600 per month. See, I want you to look your eyes all the way down and see how much money you can make. And if you can put in the chat, what would your income dream be? Like that car that we talked about earlier, your dream car. Let's talk about your dream income now. If you can put it in the chat, And don't be afraid to share it. It's like when you go to apply for a job, right? You want to get paid what you feel that you deserve to get paid. It's up to you to negotiate it. Now negotiate with yourself how much money you would like to make here. And you have the freedom to make it. It's all up to you. Plus, the company gives you access to registering others $50 by sponsoring other people, giving other people the opportunity. And you can also earn bonuses in addition to that. The first 90 days, the company says, I got $1,500 for you within 90 days that you can liquidate on top of your enrollment registrations. You also qualify for another bonus, which is called the unlimited $300 weekly bonus. Anytime your community moves and brings 6 new team partners. So once you achieve this ranking position right here, which is 36 memberships, $50 daily, $1,500 a month, you have liquidated the entire compensation plan. Now the company is going to pay you this other infinity bonus. You have unlocked the entire compensation plan. Think about that. And you don't have to be an expert. All you got to do basically is do what I'm doing. Plumber, right? I was a young father. I don't need a license. I did get a license once. I was life insurance license, Series 663 license, Series 26. That was a hard deal. I was responsible for an office. It was a hard call. Right here, we got experts doing everything for us. And you have the same opportunity. Okay? So now let's talk about using the bank's money. You know, the bank uses our money for them to make money. But now we're going to show you how to use the bank's money so you can make money. And we call this leverage number 3. Okay? You can qualify to you can qualify for $50,000 of MWR Fundable 360. And this is credit that you're building outside of your personal credit. No collateral, no personal guarantees, no personal credit risk, recognized as a premier business funding system by the Forbes Inc. 5000, Entrepreneur Magazine, and more. So now you have access to more money. At this point in time, we have shift expenses back into income. We have a referral compensation plan. Now we have the bank's money at your disposal, and we still haven't asked you for any money. This is all money that's going to go into your pocket, okay? So now, to kind of wrap things up, this is what we just talked about right now. Shifting expenses back into income, earning income to refer, using the bank's money. Where do you want to put all that money? In your freedom store, which is your freedom lifestyle legacy store. That's what I call it. Precious metals, passive income. You got residual, you're paying less out there, you're using the bank's money, and now you have precious metals to be able to put it on a leasing contract for your generational wealth. How's that? Savings, income, funding, and assets all in one ecosystem. Okay? And we all have access to that. All right. So now let's talk about, I want you to meet our secretary. She's 24/7. You can talk to her anytime you want. When you access your portal, you feel like a millionaire. I guarantee you that. Once you have access to your portal, you're going to sit down and you're going to go, wow. You're going to have the portals that a lot of wealthy people have at your disposal. Plus, you're going to have an assistant. Her name is Alex, 24/7. You can click and ask questions by texting, or you can call her. You can chat with her. You can do anything you want. If you want to have a conversation to get your questions answered, Alex is the person. I call it the person, okay? Because she sounds like a real person. When you're asking her all the questions, how do I activate my debt program? How do I activate my credit restoration? What do I need to do to activate my compensation plan? She is there for you 24/7. See, a lot of people are getting downsized and laid off and fired from their jobs because they're being replaced by AI. We are hiring AI to do the work for us. So we're not competing against AI. AI is our assistant, and you have access to Alex, okay? All right, so join our community. Now let's set everything straight on the table. $159.95 is all it takes, which is a cup of coffee a day, to have you and your spouse, or you and anyone else in your household that is the age of 18 plus, okay, years of age, You'll have access to shifting expenses back into income. You'll have access to business funding. You'll have access to all the services the company provides by activating your membership. And again, it's called Make Wealth Real membership. Okay, savings, PM assets, experts, Alex, no contracts, spouse included. The other way to start is put another $100 out of pocket and you can start your agency where you can start generating income to refer others. And you have already seen so far how much money you can make, okay? You have the same benefits, same opportunities. You'll have Alex at your disposal, get your questions answered, everything in the tip of your fingers, okay? So start where you feel comfortable. You don't have to start with 259. You can start with 159. It's up to you. And what's the good thing about this is you got 30 days money back guarantee. So activate everything to be able to use every sourceful tool that you have at your disposal to be able to shift expenses back into income. And if you decide to work with us, start referring others, okay? So you can start activating the compensation plan. All right, so you want to make it free? Very simple. This is exactly what I did, and this is exactly what a lot of folks have done. I learned this from Dr. G.W. Parker, which is our mentor. He says, the system requires that we find 3 customers, so you don't have to pay any monthlies. Immediately, what did I do? Which is exactly what he did. He goes, I didn't find 3. I went ahead and found 5. Okay, so you can find as many as you want, but 3 is the minimum required to enroll in the program to get your services for free. That money that I save monthly implementing my services allow me to create an extra $150 that I could use for something else. Now, if you choose to build your business, go find 3 other partners that get excited about the opportunity like we are, and you're going to activate the compensation plan to be able to have not only your business funded, but you're going to be generating monthly residual income. So we're talking about 6 enrollments is all you need to be able to start making serious money with our company, okay? And this is how momentum is created. So the decision is yours. 1, do I want faster and smarter way to build wealth without the risk? Obviously, I'm assuming the answer is yes. 2, do I want more time and money to do what I love with the ones I love most? If the answer is yes, your decision is already made. Okay, I want you to think about your last 5 years of the vehicle that you have been using to make income. Has it got you closer to your dreams financially? If it hasn't, this might be the opportunity to change your vehicle. Because if you continue to do the same thing the next 5 years, using the same vehicle, you're going to continue to attract the same results, okay? So make a wise decision about what you have done so far in the last 5 years using the vehicle that you have been using. And if you're ready to get started, the first thing that you have to do is contact the person that invited you to this Zoom call. Choose your path, whether it's client or a team partner. Plug into the system. The minute that you plug into the system, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it's going to empower you. Because every time you access your portal and you get to talk to our team, Alex, you're going to feel so supported in your financial decisions. You're going to start feeling that you can definitely accomplish your goals and dreams with Make Wealth Real. Well, on behalf of myself and our team partners, we want to welcome you to Make Wealth Real, where lifestyle and legacy connect. Your presenter here today, Fernando Ramirez, Regional Director with the company, will leave you with this, and then we're going to jump into our next segment of our events. March Madness. It's a good time to start. The company is giving you more money, meaning if you enroll 3 partners, okay, you'll have access to generating your $50 per enrollment. By the time you do 3 partners enrollments, you're going to generate an additional $200 for the same effort. Plus, you have another bonus that is called momentum bonus. So the company is giving away money, but we'll have until March 31st to make that happen. Okay? And Monday, this is an event you can't miss. You have to really take your calendar and put everything away because we want you to sit in the front row of the opportunity to be able to take your life to a whole new level. We've been here for almost 4 years. And I'm telling you, what's going to happen Monday, it's going to revolutionize what we have been doing for the last 4 years with our company, which is going to take us to where we need to be. And we don't want you to miss out on this. It's your opportunity. It's in your hands. Run with it. Your family is going to thank you. I guarantee you they're going to thank you. Okay. On that note, take a picture of it if you want. But I have to now turn over this incredible Saturday to one of our company leaders. Okay. I have a lot of respect for this incredible woman. I seen her present. She's got an incredible background story. She might share that a little bit today, but she's a trainer of trainers. Every time she speaks, guess what I got next to me? My notepad. She's got her camera open. She looks sharp as always, a professional in what we do. Lynn, thank you so much for your time. You know, I respect everything that you do. You and your husband, Herschel, are tremendous team partners. Every time you both open your mouth, my ears get so big and I start taking notes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up here our incredible leader, Lynn Gibbs, where she's going to share with us exactly what our company can do for you. And I got my notepad ready, Lynn, so the microphone is yours. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning. Thank you, guys. And thank you for, first of all, providing such simple and realistic information to where, again, not just the name of the company, but what we can all do, and that's making wealth real. Oftentimes we think about that just in being finances and finances alone, but it's in every walk of our life. And when we get those monkeys off our back when it comes to finances, then we can live, we can begin to dream again and help others in our community. So again, thank you for sharing that awesome information.
All right.
Well, now that you have set the stage, once again, for what is possible in our communities, what good is information if you don't apply it? Sometimes we can be so inundated with life, we just don't know where to begin or how to begin. But this morning, if you will, I want to put us in a space to where we keep it to the fundamentals. And then keep in mind, Fernando spoke about some information that's coming forth on Monday. And I think that's going to change the whole trajectory of a portion of what I'm sharing. But the fundamentals of where you are is going to remain the same. Be prepared, if you will, not only with our finances in life, but be prepared so that when someone asks you a question, what is it that you do? You're prepared to answer. Whatever that one quick statement looks like to you. In this case, as an example, I'm a lifestyle and legacy facilitator. I like the lifestyle and legacy is because you're going to see the cadence of which this is exactly what we do. This is the platform, the foundation of what we do to actually make wealth real. And then with that in mind, getting a little box out the way, this one main sentence right here that everyone should go ahead and keep in mind, and it's going to be in your business builder system, which is in your back office now that you've decided to be a part of the community. I'm a lifestyle and legacy facilitator. We provide a self-funded system that creates wealth faster, smarter, and safer without using our existing income. And then be prepared to ask the question. And you're going to find that we do more asking of questions than we do explaining here. Monday is going to change the whole trajectory of that to where in this relationship builders business, we're going to do it through curiosity. But ask, are you open to seeing how people are creating time freedom without using their existing income? And then allow them to answer that question because you have the solutions to doing just so. Let's take a quick look again at the foundation. Let's look, for instance, at the house that House is built with Brian House, our founder and CEO. Again, we're speaking fundamentals. So let's look at the foundation, the base upon which something is actually built. It provides support and stability for the entire structure. So one of the questions that you can ask is that what makes sense to you, that you're anchored in quicksand or are you anchored in granite? One of the most hardest stones ever. And here you have the owners of this company who had a vision, one of them being to break free from financial limitations. Embedded with this business plan in an industry with 70 to 75% fail within the first 1 to 5 years. And here we still stand with MWR since 2017. And then the core of who we are. The core refers to the central or most important part of something. It's essential. It's not optional. It's a component that everything else revolves around. And here we are not only revolving, but we're evolving in a 30,000 trillion financial service industry. So it's not optional. It's something that everyone needs every day from the time that, in fact, let's backtrack. From the day that you were conceived, you were part of somebody's service industry when it came to finances, be it through the preparation for when you came home, your doctor visits prior. So before the day you were even born, you became a part of somebody's spreadsheet, if you will. So why not be taking empowerment of your own? And then functional. The components are just that. It's an integral part or element of a larger whole, and see yourself as that. Those are the systems, the experts, our revenue sharing plan, our vendors, the experts, Alex, and even you. You are an integral part of what we're doing for the success. The foundation, the reason why we're starting here is because it gives you a compass of where you are. And a funny thing about a compass, you could be off just 1 degree, and over a period of time, you have totally hit your market. So when we understand the foundation of who we are, exactly where we are, then you can understand where you're growing to. You understand that you have a first mover's advantage, where you are actually positioned in place in MWR Financial, and you will hear that MWR Financial, and it is just that, it's Make Wealth Real. It's a premier financial solutions company to where as the first mover's advantage, you're positioned to expand and share with all of the US. And right now, the US for now. So let's look at the structure of this, the foundation. Brian House, the owner, founder and CEO. He and they have been partners, successful business partners for decades. And here you have Endamo Tolson, our managing partner, our chief operating officer, Alicia Ross, Mike Randolph, the vice president, and David Wren, the CEO of Prosperity Mint. This would be your precious metals depository. This is where you sit, and this is the power and the swag that you can understand as far as how you have the first mover's advantage, not only to change your lifestyle, but the families across all of the US. And then how important timing is. And that's where you sit right now in the foundation of this all. You've got primarily 4 phases in the company: formulation, the concentration, momentum, stability. That's the timing of it all. And as far as the ideal point of entry, it is the formulation phase. This is where you have people like Mr. Endamo Tosa and those who have had relationships with that person of vision. This is where they're positioned to maximize the growth. Between the concentration and the foundation phase, this is where systems are established, skills are developed, and pioneers come into the companies. We're speaking about pioneers till when we get to the point of stability, you understand what they have brought to the table, the sacrifices they have made. Now, momentum is a whole different breed. And we've got some people on here who have experienced that. And it's the most beautiful thing in the world. And it happens organically, sometimes without you even realize, because why? You're caught up in the vortex. Momentum is actually what fuels the growth. It's that core. It's when high volume of new members start coming into the actual company itself, it starts becoming a household name. Here's a pen that you want to put in your cap prior to Monday, and as you're listening to Monday's information, is that to qualify for the Millionaire Summit, when Mr. House, and even before that, ask your success line, which this is all about, but you want to qualify for the Millionaire Summit, and you talk about experiencing something of a lifetime. That's going to be momentum, so that now when stability happens in the company, the longevity, long before that 1 to 5 year period, it's leadership focus, it's long-term retention, it's a culture, and you will see that in all that the pioneers have established during this period of time. Again, you want to go ahead and qualify for that Millionaire Summit, and that's where momentum is going to begin in your life. Speaking about foundations, let's keep it to where this is what the company actually does in providing one of the platforms to our financial success, to generational wealth, to making wealth real. And that's helping everybody, first of all, to keep more of the money they're making. You want to first shift that money back into your household that you have been losing month after month, year after year, that you can't get back. The whole flow of this is to go ahead and take that money that you're otherwise losing and put it in a place where it can grow on its own. And that's the ultimate place to be. Once you understand this, and the earlier, the sooner, the better in life. Again, you've got families who this is taught when that child is in utero because they're set up for success before the day they're born because that family understands the distinction between linear income and passive income. Linear income, of course, is generated directly from your active work. You go to work, you see this here in the wheel, and then your work puts out what your value is. And your value is only, it's limited by the hours in a day. You cannot physically out earn your income. When your work stops, your pay stops. It sounds simple, but when we understand these principles early on in life, when we're taught it, when we put it into action, that's where we see our success not happening for ourselves, our communities, but generation after generation. That distinction between linear income and passive income, you see here. Passive income is when you literally, you put your money that's at the will to work, and then it duplicates itself. And then you reinvest it and you reinvest it because why? Your money's working for you. It's you leverage it, it's scalable. It creates that financial freedom, providing a place of security with minimal ongoing effort. And what we're all looking for is time freedom. So now that you've kept the money in your pocket, whether it's from the cell phone that you're utilizing, and you see this in the services to your insurances, whatever the case might be, keep that money in your pocket. We're going to put it in a place where it can grow. And where you don't even have enough expendable income, let's show you how to make some money where you're getting paid daily because you have daily expenses. So does not it make sense to have money coming to you flowing every day? Here's the ultimate in these strategies. And that is like you saw the person on the wheel, to where you're having money working for you versus you working for your money. Now you're living as well as leaving a legacy. When you keep in mind, again, the foundations of it all, that you've got a couple of financial objectives to meet for that path of financial success, the reason why you go to work, you open the doors to your business, is that that finite amount of income, you've got to utilize it. And this is just three of the basics. You've got to cover all of your monthly expenses, establish an emergency fund, and that's 6 months to a year, depending on the expert. But you can see you have survived the pandemic. It took longer than 6 months to a year to go ahead and have a financial emergency fund established. And then again, out of that finite amount of money, you should be taking a portion of that and putting towards your retirement as well as your investment portfolio, because it is your investment portfolio that's going to cover your future lifestyle. And start to dream it and plan it now, so that you can spend the time that you want with family and friends. You can travel where you want and when, how you want, because these toys are made for someone. So why not you? Now that your investments are growing, you've got your vacation property so that you can go ahead and host reunions. You can go ahead for your partners that you're establishing right now. You could take them on retreat. You can give back to your community. You've got those philanthropic efforts. Fund someone's education, whether it's formal or to put them in position right now to where they understand these principles and it's carried through legacy. Now that your investments are growing, the one thing you're doing, just like that wheel, you're putting them back into more income producing assets, because no matter what the form is, it's those income producing assets that's going to fuel your future lifestyle. And then here, again, the fundamentals. You saw this earlier during the overview. We've got the ability to get paid on a daily basis versus you working for it, which you cannot out earn to build wealth. Decide where you need to be in this process. But first of all, within your first 30 days, your immediate needs, what is it that you're needing, and jot it down so that with your success line, you can establish a plan of success. I didn't say plan of action. Sometimes activity can be busy work. That's a plan of success. Write down what your X factor is. What is it that you're needing in addition to what you're already making, so that all of your expenses are covered? You're comfortably above and beyond putting aside an emergency fund versus wishing something does not happen. And that you're for certain putting towards your and contributing towards your investment and financial investment portfolio. Over the next 6 months, jot it down. As far as your residual income, again, decide where it is that you want to be in this process. Do you want part-time income that's going to contribute to what you're already doing? Do you need full-time income to replace, get to the space to where your residual income is surpassing what you do from your 9 to 5 or from your business in and of itself? It replaces it. And for where those households who don't have that income at all, utilize this platform to establish an income. And then the ultimate, as far as your investment, the question was asked in this number, what do you want to make per month? For me, I want to exceed my career best earnings. So for me, I need to be at least $90,000 per month. And that investment income provides you the opportunity to accelerate your wealth and with again your success line, your 5-year plan. Sit with them and establish through this leverage system that we have. It shows you in black and white where you can be and how your dream can be in 5 years or sooner. Now that we've got a foundation, and that's going to change. Monday, you might hear new cadence. What I'm saying today, it could change slightly, but keep in mind that foundation is going to stay the same forever. It's not about convincing anymore. We're going to share, we're going to establish relationships, and you're going to see how that's going to sort the process for you to have success. But to start with today, when you start, and this is going to remain the same, understand you've got 2 teams of experts. You have the financial experts as well as your marketing experts. Simultaneously, they're going to work for your success at the same time. You're not waiting for the experts to handle your finances, to start your journey to sharing this with other people to change their households, the marketing aspect of it. Simultaneously, it's working together. As soon as you got your membership, you receive an email from MWR Financial. Open the email. Don't let it get lost. Look for it. Some people have sat on it. They don't realize it's back there. But when you sit with your success, your upline, or your success line, if you will, there's no difficulty in this. But if you need some help, ask them how to. You're going to activate your e-wallet. That's where the pay system is. All that income that I just showed you. Activate your prospecting hub. And then upload a photo because this company does recognize and reward. So make certain that your photo is there. So when you are placed on the publications, you recognize yourself. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You earned it. And then read and listen to, again, that MWR Business Builder system. There's 2 components in there. So when you break it down, look at the information in there that's mindset, but look at the information that's action tactic and make certain that you and your upline are implementing that right away. And then join the Telegram system here with MWR so that you're not missing any important information or updates, and then follow them on Twitter. The daily activity checklist. Oftentimes we talk about having an accountability partner. This is why I like this area here, because this information will disappear. But your daily activity is just that. You're going to start 3 or 5 conversations daily, send out an invitation link, you're just sharing, and then follow up with the previous. You will see how it's just like that wheel of success is going to repeat itself. And for me, we talk about accountability partners. This is your accountability right here, so that if you're working this or applying yourself to this on a part-time basis, carve out a half hour per day and make certain that this is getting done, that you're handling your business. And if you're full-time, carve out an hour at least to dedicate to your business. And then immediate actions. Excuse me. You want to go ahead and start your services right away. Again, I mentioned the 2 teams of experts. Start your services right away so that you can go ahead and reclaim that money that you've been losing month after month, year after year. Your return on your investment is going to come back to you right away, and then create your own success story. Schedule your launch, which means your lifestyle legacy conversation, like you just heard. Some people might call it a VBO. You might see that inside the when we're doing invitations and whatnot. But it's nothing other than your business launch. You have to go ahead and expose what it is you have, number one, to help those around you, but for you to be a success as well. And then our first focal point for you is to get you to 3-star. And that's simply having 3 qualified marketing directors frontline at all times that you have personally sponsored, 1 outside customer outside of yourself, and to get you at $1,500 per month. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Hence, go ahead and start your services right away, and then leverage everything that we have. Let's go ahead and put together a flow for you real quick. But when we say leverage everything, begin with the diversified cash flow account. Do that while your health is in good order, because you get to a place in life to where you may not be able to qualify. Then you have to use someone else, a son, a daughter, someone that's 18 years or above. But let's show you how, because the bank utilizes your money more than once, 7, 9 times. Get to the place to where you're utilizing the rules of the wealthy and you're doing likewise. So between the diversified cash flow account, a service in your back office, fundable 360, optional, but a service you definitely want to go ahead and heed, and you see why in just a second. And in our precious metals depository, we're talking about blue ocean strategies. This with MWR Financial is a concept that where we're focused on creating uncontested market spaces. Again, you are first to market. As blue ocean strategies, instead of competing with existing or saturated markets, you're it, first to bring it to all of the US. So let's look at the flow here. Of course, with the DCA, you become your own bank, guaranteed uninterrupted interest and dividends on your money. So let's just, and then let me go over this real quick and then I get to the whole flow. And then with your Fundable 360 is a financial tech company where there's no personal guarantee, guaranteed 50,000 minimum, and it's perpetual. So once you qualify, it's ongoing. You don't need a guarantor, it's just you. And because of the team of experts, they help you qualify for it. And then your precious metals, which is exclusive to MWR members. This can only happen through you. Look at the stance you have in the foundation, where we are in the timing, and you're the only one who can provide this leasing program to where it's asset appreciation, but also most important is that you have a passive monthly income of up to 24% annually. Those are institutional returns where you still have full ownership and you leverage your precious metals. There is a YouTube out there where Brian House, the owner, is speaking about a 72% return per year. People who know money, and I'll put it simply, you've heard it before, know money. So when you speak to them and ask them these questions, would you be opposed to earning up to 24% annually? You can confidently say 72% once you see this video. So this is what it could look like for you. You take advantage, or you might even have the necessary funds that you need to go ahead and start where you are precious metals. But let's just say you qualified yourself for, or your company, for the financial tech portion of this, $50,000. You take that 50,000 portion, whatever the case might be, and put it into your DCA. So now whatever portion you put in there is gaining interest and dividends uninterrupted. Borrow from yourself, pay yourself back on your own terms while it is still gaining, and then purchase your precious metals. So now you're earning money with your DCA, you're earning money here with your precious metals to where you can reinvest it back to gain more, and at the same time, you're gaining over here. You're making payments more than enough from your returns on a quarterly basis for your precious metals to pay back what you have borrowed to start this process all over again. And these are the rules of wealthy, and this is how, guys, you leverage everything. Start leveraging, first of all, in your back office with that success system. We're on start now. We're almost done. Going to show you how to go ahead and share. Go into your back office to where you're going through your success system. This is, again, an action tactic to get with your upline success so that as you're going from day 1 all the way to day 7 to where you're going to reflect. There's always going to be a measuring stick here to show your success. On day 7, your success looks like this. You're going to review what has worked, what did not work for you, and then you're going to go ahead and celebrate. Do not forget to celebrate your small successes, no matter how small, along the way. And then repeat the process by booking your next presentation and then setting your next 2 weeks goal. We have ongoing training one-on-one. We spoke about Alex briefly, but with that ongoing training one-on-one, we have proven and positive strategies, whether it's on a weekly basis like today, a daily basis that you should be actively engaged with. And then when I spoke about the summit, our quarterly events, our yearly events. But with Alex, it's artificially intelligent powered, and it's your personal business assistant. They are 24/7, 365, answering you compliantly with expert answers in multiple languages. And it's training that it's a guidance that you can use for training for yourself so that you can build your confidence much faster and you can move through with confidence. Use Alex to answer any prospects' questions. You might see how we're utilizing to go ahead and 3-way, and then just join the 3-way call instantly. And I mentioned building the confidence quicker, and use it as a learning tool. When you plug into your back office, you will see the 700 number there. And then keep plugged in because Alex is ever evolving. And I think we're going to see that more so than ever on Monday. I want to start real quick. So anything that I might have shared thus far, just what I've shared thus far. If you have any questions on, feel free to go ahead and come off mute and ask a question about just what I've shared because we're almost done with this. I'm not going to belabor this. Just want to make certain that so far for what I've shared, just as far as the foundation, is clear and as succinct as possible. So here, let's go ahead and move on. Again, almost done. And we're going to get to the part to where we are going to actually show you what it looks like when you are sharing. And I appreciate having the ability to go through this succinctly. And again, you're on your success line. Some of these things that I'm sharing, especially when it comes to this point, you might see a shift in this come Monday, but again, the foundation is going to stay the same. When you share, you're going to begin to go ahead first and have a prospect list. There are all types of memory joggers out there, but make it as extensive as possible. Do not prejudge. The one thing I want to say is that when you're creating your prospect list, there's going to pretty much be 3 individuals that's in your life, and you could be one or the other. Your reds on your list of people that you actually look up to. It could be it could be in the ministry. It could be someone that it's a lawyer in your community, someone that's established, a pillar of the community. You look up to them. And in your blues are your peers. Your blues actually, if you just look at this, they'll give you the blues because they've known you ever since. They know where you live, what you drive. They just simply know your lifestyle, so they could be judgmental. And we're going to show you a reason why in just a second that you're going to use the systems that's coming forth here on Monday to sort these. And then your greens are people that look up to you. Pretty much they're ready. They're saying, wow, you've had this information for me to change my financial outlook, and you've been holding on to it. Right away, they say, okay, show me how to do and what to do. And now you've got them as a partner. But look through your phone, those people who you know that are working, you put them on your list so that we can provide them an instant pay raise. You've gone to school with your business partners because they will respect the revenue sharing plan. Those that are in real estate, let us show you how versus getting a commission structure on them one time, they can get paid over and over again off just that one customer. And then those you fellowship with. Is there a financial literacy platform where you fellowship with? Because that's pretty much the gateway to our communities, your family, your friends, and homeowners, so we can show them how to get the home paid off early. And then your business owners for that Fundable 360, and those investors. Put them on that list and ask them the question, would you be opposed to getting up to 72% returns per year? Your lifestyle legacy conversation, again, launch your business. It could be virtual or it could be in person. And we are so looking forward to those that can be coming, to city near you and build this to where the energy is just infectious to where you get live in front of individuals. But the invitation here is that you're going to relate, and this is once you begin to share with someone, you're going to relate to them. You're not going to just jump in, again, the tools on Monday will change, but you're just not going to jump in talking about, oh, I've got this opportunity, it's saving people money, it's making people money, X, Y, Z. No, relate to them. Have that conversation, how have you been? Then be prepared to ask them a question because you've listened. And you're listening to go ahead and understand what that person needs, be it a dream, a desire, or an actual problem that what you have a solution to. You've got to engage in the art of listening more than talking, more than explaining. And you're going to do that through a form concept. And if you keep this in the back of your mind, and you might ask 1 or 2 of these questions, typically not all at the same time, but you want to find out what's happening with their family and how you can make a difference there, or what you have through MWR Financial can make a difference. And then occupation, what is it that they do? Are they happy with it? Are they prepared for retirement and recreation? Would they love more time freedom to travel when they want and where? And in money, or what motivates them will be the M. So get to the space of where when you're talking to people, when you're having conversations, when you're building relationships, that you have form in the back of your mind, not because it's robotic, but you're getting to actually understand and know that person, and you begin to realize that there are personality types. So your conversation, what you share, is going to be grounded around that. Shocks of those individuals when you're having conversations with them, or believe it or not, you can see a personality type in the way a person, they walk, the way they talk, and how they dress. These personality types manifest in them being a shock, is what we call, they're money motivated. Their conversation is stemmed around this. Why is it important? Because if you have a shock that's money motivated and you talking kumbaya, how can we help the world? They're not going to hear you. So you're kind of listening and understanding the personality type so that you can truly be successful, and not only with your business, but helping them to achieve what they're needing. The dolphins love to have fun all day long. You can see it in their swagger, the movement, the whole nine. They're a party animal. They want to know, just like I said, when is the next Millionaire Summit? I'm there. And then your whales, they're like, how can I utilize this revenue sharing plan to help my community, to establish a 501? And then your urchin, they have to have all the facts before they move. They're paralyzed by analyzing everything. So guess what? Use Alex to your favor. So now that you've related, you want to ask a question, then you're going to share two. A question, and I just give you a couple here. Depending on who's going to be on your list, you can ask, are you open to seeing how people are creating more time freedom without using their existing income? Another question that's grounded, that's going to help you to go ahead and speak to the systems that we have in place to solve their problem. If I can show you how your investment can double every year, would that be a conversation you would like to be a part of? And I got this from a friend and partner who's a pharmacist. And when he showed me how not only just 24% lend, but you can grow your yields annually to 100 and some percent, I said I needed that because I understood the rule of 72. And I'm at a space in my life where I need more like the rule of 144. But once you ask that question, then share two. You have got two to share. It just depends on what that person's needing. You can almost be safe by sending them to your site and see the video that's still on the front. People are curious by nature. They'll peruse your site and see something that they need there for themselves. But we have a lifestyle legacy, whether it's to take care of their immediate needs or to begin facilitating their dreams through the legacy video. But we have those videos to share, including the Leverage Illustrator, which is that 5-year plan that some of the people that you're speaking with, you can share that to so they can begin to structure for their future. But imagine that question again. If you can show a person how their investments can double every year, would they want to be a part of it? Not that you need this information, but once you understand the rule of 72, you're going to understand how that puts you in a situation of understanding where you are with this foundation. Where you are is acquiring that precious metal sooner than later so that it can compound. And here's a formula, not that you need to know it, but it's there. So imagine not only just asking the question, would you want to be a part of that conversation to not only just get 24%, 72%, or even more, who's going to say no? So put yourself in a winning position and then the edification. Edification is going to take place because, again, you're blue. They know you. They're prejudged. So it's not likely that they're going to hear you and understand what you're speaking about in this $30 trillion industry. They prejudge you. So hence you want to go ahead and edify an expert. There's a level of trust between you and that prospect, that person is on your list. What you're edifying for is to establish that credibility. Is going to provide a reason why this prospect is going to actually listen to this expert and they can now conduct business because they've established a form of respect. So again, the reason why you're doing this is to do what? Establish the expert's credibility, and that expert can be a person. Believe it or not, you can edify one of the tools of video. And when you edify, put that person, that's why you understand the personalities, put that person's personality in that edification so that they see themselves. And then when you're using the script, which you will have, you're incorporating the 4 personality types so that now you don't know if that person is all about money. You don't know if they're well. So here's an example, for instance, and you're going to do this before you connect the 3 individuals. Phil, thanks for taking a quick moment to connect with, my upline leader here, Mr. Parker. He truly loves helping others. The helping part, that's what? That's that person who likes to help that we spoke about in the personality types. He or she is a 7-figure earner, speaking about that sharp person that loves money. Or if they're not making that much money, they have a membership with MWR. They're positioned to make tons of money, especially when they stick with the systems. And it's all about the facts, that urchin and person at the same time, that urchin who needs all the facts and getting their questions answered. So when we edify and we pre-frame what you will see in the business builder system, we're incorporating all the success that we know how to in those personality types because we don't know which one that we're speaking to. You will go ahead and practice this with your success line, and the success comes in the doing, guys. So anything that you see today, you're going to be practicing, but keep in mind that foundation is going to remain the same. And why it's pivotal, why it's so vital that you stay updated. Stay connected. The emails that you receive from corporate, read it. Not only is it emails, you get tax information in there at the end of the year, which is about to be filed. So make certain that you're paying attention to the emails that you're receiving from corporate. Have your calendar, have it filled, be it in your phone or physical calendar, but stay connected because of the events that are ongoing. And then subscribe. Subscribe to all the channels so that you are up to date, you're connected, and you're having success, whether it's with the group in any of these social platforms, or you're staying connected because of the legacy and lifestyle conversations that we have ongoingly. And then what's happening right now, we spoke to this a bit earlier in the overview. You still have time for the March Madness to take advantage of doubling your bonuses. Right now, this weekend, you've joined. You came here to see the training so you can make a much more solid decision. We can show you this weekend. We can show you today how to get your initial enrollment back just through the investments. And if you're interested, that's $500 is waiting for you by the close of Sunday. And if you're really serious, you say, you know what? Not only do I need to get my return on my investment right back, but $1,250 can really serve me going into next week, into the rest of this month. We can show you how to make this happen as well. This ring right here that popped in on you, that's the Millionaire Summit that we're talking about that's taking place that we're going to show you how to qualify for. And any other promotion that's going on right now, ongoing, leverage the promotion with this 1 ounce of silver. That's all it takes for you to go ahead and get started and be grandfathered into being paid quarterly. Start where you are, obviously, but here you have the opportunity to plug into this because of your membership with just the 1 ounce, and our next payout is going to be happening in April. Guys, events is what's building your businesses, whether it's on a training and overview that we do like today, whether it is virtual or whether it is in person. And our next event, we'll be having an actual virtual overview today, a lifestyle legacy conversation. And that's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Get with your success line. They'll provide you the link and just ask the question, are you open to seeing how people are creating more time freedom without using their existing income? Join me on a quick lifestyle legacy conversation today. Mark your calendars for Monday. Guys, I think Monday the game is going to definitely be changing to where it's more attraction than anything when it comes to our success. Mr. House is going to be unveiling our marketing hub. It's going to be a launch. It's all about prospecting and presenting a system. The winning strategies are going to be simply to pique interest, not to sell anyone on anything. We're creating curiosity, identifying who wants to make more money. It's really that simple. And then let the system do the work. And that's again Monday, 30th of March. Set your calendars now, 8 p.m. Eastern, and you're joining via MWR.live. And then again, plug into MWR's Telegram so that you're privy to and you will see the actual flyer that comes out for Monday and you can share it. And I hit the wrong button, but hopefully you can still see my screen. That was in the way. And then that's it. I thank you for taking your time out this morning, but it's all about time and financial freedoms. Not only do you have a complete system there, the foundation is strong to go ahead and build your financial future, not only for you, your community, but I thank you, Dr. Parker, for providing this platform. Fernando, thank you for allowing me to train today.
Wow. Lynn, thank you so much for allowing us your time. Every time you train, you always got something special put together for all of us to learn from you. And, I become a student. I'm an observer and I pay very close attention. I was a sponge today in the way you led us in the right direction to be able to, really make things happen. So, everybody, we're all living with so much in our plate to be able to start grabbing from wherever we want. We just got to work our list, as David alluded to earlier, Lynn. He talked about that incredible, chart that he put together in our screen. and we all can take advantage of an opportunity that we have in our hands, which is the best opportunity to be able to change lives. So I'm getting ready to pound the phones, start calling people. So ladies and gentlemen, do the same. Let's pack the event Monday, okay, and make sure that we can bring even guests. Have everyone show up to the event. It's going to be amazing. I'm already lining up a lot of my invites. So the company has given you a link. Go to your portal, copy that link, send the invitation. We also have a template that they gave us. You can go to Telegram, you can find it there, and start promoting the event, because there's someone out there waiting to hear from you. They're praying for an opportunity. They're just waiting to hear from you. It might not be the first one. Probably it's going to be the 10th contact, the 15th, the 20th, or the 30th. It doesn't matter. Plant the seeds, because Monday night, the opportunity is going to go to a whole new level. MWR is going to become a household name pretty soon. Once again, thank you, Lynn. Microphones are open. Cameras are open. Happy Saturday, everyone. We'll see you all at the top, and we're going to see you at the beaches of the world.
Yes.
Thank you. Awesome Super Saturday from David to Fernando to Lynn Gibbs. Thank you. Everybody was spectacular.
Thank you, Munifa. Herschel. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Spellbound.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you
Awesome.
very much.
Thanks for sharing.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
All right, girl, give me a call.